To give you an idea of my setup, I'm recording through the Road Reporter app on my phone. We'll talk about why I'm doing that in a second. But I'm also recording on board with this thing. Okay, so I've got backup just in case something goes wrong with this app or the recording through the phone whatsoever. Is this super cheap wireless mic kit worth it? It's called a LVVIACE. No, that can't be right. Well, you know what? That doesn't matter because you can just call this cheap as hell. I think I spent 35 Canadian dollars on this, and I mean, what could go wrong? Well, let's find out, and we'll start with the build quality. So a bit of a spoiler, the build on these is pretty bad. Now again, remind yourself, 35 bucks. Now the case is the cheapest of all the wireless options, and it basically just gives you the battery readout on the front. Otherwise, nothing really to speak of here. The actual units themselves are equally as cheap. You can see the receiver is rather simple in its design, and it is set up for either USB-C or Lightning. Now, there is a USB connector for charging it separately, as well as a 3.5mm out if you're using this with a camera, though you might notice something weird and why I'm not using it with my camera. There's no way to attach it to the actual camera, which is a bit of a weird oversight if you ask me. There is a single button for power, as well as an indicator light to show which transmitters are connected. As for those transmitters, well, again, the build, it's so bad. However, one benefit to that is they aren't heavy at all, so hanging off your shirt like this shouldn't be an issue. On the unit, you have a couple buttons, one for power, the other to record, which brings us to a surprising point. These things have onboard recording. That's a surprising benefit here. Now, on the bottom of the unit, you have a USB connection, and on the front, you have some indicator lights, one for power, one for the connection, one for recording, and finally, you have the noise reduction. Now, it took me a bit to figure this one out, but triggering the noise reduction, you just tap the power button. And finally, you have the windshields. They just snap on top. And along with this, you get a bag for all the extra stuff, that extra stuff being a USB cable and a 3.5mm cable for camera attachments. Don't expect much on that, though. That cable is not the greatest. It's a fine Canadian winter day here in the region of the nation capital of Canada. Woo! It's cold out. This is the LVVIACE, or however you want to say it, microphone. It's clipped to my jacket, and this is what it sounds like. This is also testing out the wind capabilities of that little dead cat on it. So, yeah, we're gonna switch back and forth. I have the noise cancellation off because, no real point keeping it on. But what do you think? Let's move over. We're going to do the Saramonic Air as well, and also the Rode Wireless Micro, and we'll see which one we like better. Okay, now we got the Saramonic Air. Just walking down the street. We got some traffic beside us. Again, noise cancellation is off, and we're just checking to see what this sounds like when we compare it to the LVVIACE wireless mic system. And we're going to bounce back and forth between them, so let's do that now. And lastly, we have the Rode Wireless Micro attached to the same spot on my jacket. Same cold winter November morning in Canada. And this is what the Rode Wireless Micro sounds like. I got the blue one. I really like the blue one. Also, big fan of purple. We need more purple stuff from Rode, just saying. Anyways, this is with the Rode Wireless Micro attached. Now, also want to point out there is no noise cancellation on this thing, and I'll kind of maybe flop back and forth between them. So once again, this is the LVVIACE wireless microphone kit, and again, this is the Saramonic Air hooked on through my cell phone. This, once again, being the Rode Wireless Micro. Now I think I can get out of this wintry hellscape and go back into my nice warm basement and finish this video off. God, I look tired. Woo. You may have noticed something rather alarming with those comparisons, and no, it's not that I left the noise cancellation on by accident with this microphone. That's beside the point. Let's illustrate the issues you heard, though, throughout this chapter as we cover the pros and cons. And you know what? We're going to start with the pros. It's cheap. That's great. Oh, and you can record on board. That is actually delightfully surprising. And that's where the list ends. So then, let's move on to the cons. The sound of this thing is one of the worst I have ever heard on a microphone of any type. This thing lacks the ability to deliver anything decent over USB. No matter how low you go on gain control, as I have done on this app, you can see it way down there. It doesn't matter. The audio is completely unusable. It's just ridiculously bad, and it's going to be clipping on any app I use it on. There's no saving this thing. The only saving grace is that you can record on board, and for some reason, that isn't an issue. Now, after saying all that, the next few things seem to kind of pale in comparison, but you know what? Let's do it. I already mentioned the mind-boggling decision to not include any kind of camera mount. The build quality also has to be mentioned here. These things are just not great, and I'm worried about long-term use, as it might get a touch dodgy for you. Next is no app. I mean, I get it, but it just adds so much more control over the system, and probably the worst issue with these things is the lack of any volume control, which would be easily controlled through that aforementioned app, and would completely solve the absolute worst issue this thing has. So should you buy it? Oh dear God, no.
The worst
wireless microphone
ever.
I mean, if you get duped and bought this horrific thing, at least you can just record on board and get somewhat decent sounding audio. But all the marks against this thing make it impossible to recommend. But it also gives you an appreciation of the work that companies are putting in to build out decent working gear. And sometimes you need that reminder of how cool that gear really is, and sometimes that reminder comes in an ill-advised purchase on Amazon. Either way though, I really hope this video helps save you from making a bit of a bad decision. And hopefully we can get this video to make more than 35 bucks. It shouldn't be too hard, but maybe drop a like to help it out. Cheers guys, and thanks for watching.